I said it from the beginning, Uri. You know, this picture of Floyd Shivambu when he went to visit Papa Bush. I don't know what it is. It's going to have consequences. You know, association is very important. Very important. One must be very distinguishable. You know, some English words are just political. Some distinguish. It's just politic. It's a political word. And now it looks like that particular decision to go and visit Papa Bush has come to bite Floyd Shivambu, because looks like the articles that are now coming out are saying, come up here, it says, speculations mount over Shivambu's future in the MK party. And then the News 24 says, Shivambu removed as MK's Secretary General, deployed to Parliament. So he went from Secretary General and he's moved to another particular position. And then the other one from IOL says Jacob Zuma holds press conference on MK's future. Shivambu deployed to National Assembly over violating party policy on this one. So we'll be checking out what is it. Is Floyd Shivambu on his way out? Okay. The Times Live one is under a paywall. We will still find the news somewhere else. And so, it looks like this is associated to that visit that he had over to Papa Bush. It's important. Association is everything. You remember when there was a false prophet who was deployed to go and curse Israel? Bad decision. Man, them don't want to be on that side of things. You know, make it very clear. Otherwise, you attract all the kind. You know, it kind of reminds me. The earlier episode that we did, you can check it in the pinned comment. It will be down there. We spoke about, this is just a thumbnail design, for the pastor who was with Bishop Zondo, Pastor Poso, who was recently spotted being given a prophecy at a different prophet's church. That video will be down in the pinned comments. This was just a thumbnail design for that. And so he is now down and struggling after years of serving, being given all these fake prophecies, false deliverance, and all these kind of things that happen over in some of these churches. And so do not allow yourself to get involved in associations that have nothing to do with God. It's very important. And so what is it that it's saying now on these articles and stuff like that? But before we go into what the articles might be saying, you'll remember this entire thing started after the whole thing of Floyd going to Malawi. It came after Mbuyiseni, who was a former EFF member, left. He is now a radio host, had tackled a certain issue in Malawi when he visited a university, and he said, there are some of people here who have made money the wrong way, and he attached Papa Bush on that. People, I've seen some people who are new to the channel who are not exactly clear what I'm saying when I say Papa Bush. It's Bush, Bushiri, okay? And so I don't know what words you are hearing and stuff like that. And so I'm going to play you a little bit of the audio here on what Floyd himself said on the speech concerning this whole decision.
National officials, the president, I want to take this opportunity to thank the President Jacob Zuma, and the leadership of Mkhonto Isizwe and the membership for having assigned me a very important role to become a national organizer and then Secretary General. I want to confirm that the national officials have taken a decision which I fully accept as a disciplined member of Umkhonto weSizwe. We've been redeployed to the National Assembly and will continue to play the role of advancing the agenda and program of Umkhonto weSizwe. It has been an invaluable roles that we have played and a humbling experience that we have been assigned by the President. I want to thank him for leading the program of unification of all the progressive forces in South Africa. That is the agenda that we're going to continue to pursue. I think that will clarify.
So this is where he actually says the decision comes from, you understand. Let's go over there.
The issues that pertains to this, and I, on behalf of myself and everyone else who is involved, we want to regret that the decision in terms of the visit to Malawi was not consistent with the constitution of Umkhonto weSizwe, as is reflected.
You see, so it is that visit that has now cost Floyd his secretary general position. Now he's been deployed to some other assignment, but going over there too soon. Can't be going over, chief, to a fugitive. You know, you are not Rebecca Malope. You know, Rebecca was over there, busy dancing. Rebecca was over there busy dancing. Shapadi Kwasa there with Papa Bush there, and so, but for you are a representative of a leadership that, if it comes to it and you fall into power, right, you represent the kind of order that people should look at and follow. The Secretary General's duties reflect in what kind of things fall into, what kind of things does a party prioritizes. The day-to-day up and down operations and all those kind of things, you know, overseeing an implementation of party policy and decisions that made by the party's executives and central committee. These are the duties of a Secretary General. And so if these things are being implemented by the party's core, and then we see you associating with, it just doesn't ring. To reassure an effective communication between different arms of the party. So basically, if there's an issue within the youth league, what duty of the Secretary General to be busy over there? And so this is why it matters. The Secretary General also, a man is in charge, or in particularly in recruitment efforts. And so if we associate you already with dodgy man people like Abu Papa Bush, Bushiri should be just a drill rapper. I know he has tried. He has 2 albums already. For those that don't know, you know, strategic policy implementations, duties of a Secretary General. You could kind of put it like that. Okay? And so if these are if these efforts, okay, if the efforts of the Secretary General is to reflect the inner cause efforts in implementing and when you are there with Abu Papa Bush, it undermines the law of the land. Because if you become a party in authority then what do we make of justice? And so his position is a very serious position. In my first video, when I saw this thing, I was like, this is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare. Because Emina, you are it's not that Floyd doesn't know his position. He knows his position. It's just that sometimes, you can get caught up. After Mbuyiseni said that thing, I bet you Bushiri was there busy texting. Munabona will arrange flight matters and all those kind of things. And then a decision that might have taken a weekend has now cost all his labors down the drain. Association is very important. Conflict resolution and disciplinary hearing. This is part of the Secretary General's duties. Overseeing those measures, the measures of these things being handed down. This is their duties. The strategic positioning of the party within implementations and all those kind of things, and disciplinary, all these things. Documenting all of that and putting forward the record to see them through. Overseeing them, even so. So now, how far do we take the party if that action gets left thinking? It has now cost him that position. Might be redeployed to something else. Maybe later on they'll put him somewhere else. We might have thought, that's it. They're just going to forget about it. It is what it is. But I guess for the last couple of weeks, they've been talking about it and discussing it. And now they've come to this decision that they have. Your associations matter. It's Ricky, it's the Actuality Show, daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes down today, they'll be down in the pinned comments, and I'm going to check you out over there.